Namaste, Jai Bharat. Societies are a group of individual members. The relationship between the individual members in society and society as a whole is not a simple one. It's one that of continuously interacting with one another, and it's a complicated matter of fact phenomenon. I was just wondering that the social problems as we come across these days are sometimes distinct and mostly different from the kind of social problems we used to have just a couple of years back or a couple of decades back, or things like that. One of the pertinent and disturbing social problem with the youth is the use of or abuse of intoxicants. In the past, intoxicants would mean something that of alcohol or natural marijuana kind of things, but these days they are synthetic chemical drugs. As everyone understands, the problem of chemical drugs is that it's very easy for one to get addicted. Some of your friends says that this gives you pleasure, enjoyment, happiness, or rather it lets you become grown up, mature and things like that. And children at the age of less than 16 mostly, between 10 to 15, 16, this is the age that is mostly are vulnerable. One user, second, two users, they get addicted and then they start behaving not like human children. They just start behaving of their own. There are many programs in all societies of there have been many programs of dealing with these issues in all societies. But in our society, Bharatiya society, when you observe, this problem is there mostly in many places. On the first hand, the drug problem has not affected real villages as it had affected towns. I'm not telling it had not affected villages, but it had not affected the villages as it had happened to the towns. And now, we have plenty of towns in our nation, and there are plenty of societies. Actually, our nation has got many societies within one society, and at different areas, the different societies have distinct characters. We are supposed to have one set of values, but the way the values are operating differs from place to place. Now, wherever the Sanatan Hindu dharmic values are more intense, in such places these kind of things are minimal. In which all societies the individuals do not belong to the Bharatiya norms, the Sanatana norms and Sanatana values, the influence of these kind of menaces are more. This, of course, you can find out and get from statistics. I'm not speaking of spurious data or statistics as some of the international agencies who are willfully creating spurious data as to debase or degrade their intended nations, and we are one among them. They wanted to say that Bharat is not a happy state. No, such stupid analysis people take. I'm not doing that. But if you look at look at this situation in our societies, in different societies, we have one society has different variations. Wherever, in whichever area, the intensity of operation of Bharatiya knowledge tradition and the Sanatana values, in such places, influences of these things are more. And in whether it is it's intact, that Sanatana values are intact, in place, then these things really doesn't matter beyond a point. So one can say, or I should say that, you see, the knowledge tradition of Bharat and the values of Hindu Dharma really is an iron dome or a protecting sheath of the society from all these things. But there are many infiltrations from various corners. There are anti-Hindu forces, materialistic forces, etc. So, apart from that, as I started saying about individuals and societies, now, an individual formulation of individual has many ingredients in it. One is that his family, and his family should mean his parenting and also grandparents. Whether one is together or not, there is a joint family concept in all Hindu houses and all houses in Bharat. There is a joint family concept, though they are living as nuclear families, but there is a continuous interaction between such many nuclear families as one joint family, though they are virtually together, physically separate. This system goes on. When it is required, they keep meeting, interacting, etc. Where these things are strong, where the Sanatana values are strong, the joint family is strong, the growing up individual, children growing up, they naturally or inadvertently also copy and imagine their parents and how their parents behave with their parents, and they have interaction directly with their grandparents. These things really forms the bondage and also forms a shield of cover of like an iron dome to them, like Israel's iron dome. It forms a cover which protects them from all these kinds of influences of this drug and modernity. Drug, etc., is one of the modernity shortcomings, and other modernity shortcomings, whatever they are. There's a tendency to imitate, but all these things, when one considers as freedom, then there's a problem. Actually, see, one has to surrender one's freedom voluntarily from within on the basis of understanding of norms, values, which comes from our Sanskriti. So it's the Sanskriti and the values which really molds your thinking, so that you yourself know that this is not appropriate. You yourselves can say no to it, no matter which friend says what. You can say no, and it doesn't make any difference to you. You're not affected. Such situation, the more it is promoted, the less you'll be affected. And the more you get to be modern, the more you get to be communists and materialists like that, the more you get to be a rebel, the more your next generation is going to go astray. It's up to you. I'm just speaking for the Hindu Dharma actually. The more you understand and implement the Hindu Dharma, the better for your future generations. Just think, understand, think, reflect, and do whatever you feel like. This is what our Vedas would say, or our Upanishad would say, or the Veda Upanishadic knowledge traditions would ultimately say that these are the things. I have these things to tell you. Now it's up to you to take it or not to take it. Act according to it or not act according to it. So we shall be taking with some other thoughts. Until then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri.